Hey guys, today is August 8th, Saturday, 2020, and today I'm going to be talking about two things. Number one, how will Joe Biden's VP help him win the election? And number two, is there a possibility of a blue Texas? Now that is going to be the thing on everybody's mind, especially for the 2020 and 2024 elections, because Texas is becoming rapidly more blue. You cannot deny that fact, even if you are a Republican. And you cannot deny the fact that when Texas falls, it will basically be the fall of the Republican Party, or at least the Republican Party that supports Trump. Because most of the reason why Texas is going more blue is probably because of Trump, and because of all the flush of immigrants. And obviously, we all know that Democrats do outstanding with minority voters. Except for Latinos. Latinos are starting to take a turn for them. Not that much, but they are. And that kind of weirds me out. But anyway, so let's get into today's video. Okay. So, Joe Biden's VP pick. Now, first we are going to be talking about a Val Demings. Personally, I do not think Val Demings will be the VP pick, but there's always that chance. So, say Val Demings does help him win in Florida, and Joe Biden wins the casual New Hampshire, Nevada, Virginia, and Minnesota. He wouldn't necessarily win the election per se, but it would get him a lot closer. And say that helps him out in Georgia. If he does win Georgia by a very small margin, that would be huge, and he would win the election. But I do not think Val Demings has the powers to help him in Georgia. Maybe make it a tilt, but I do not think that Val Demings has the power to help him in Florida or in Georgia. So let's say all these southern states and Ohio and Iowa and Maine 2nd District and Nebraska 2nd District go to Trump. Well, then it all relies on the Midwest, which Joe Biden is very popular in, especially in Pennsylvania and Michigan. Now, say if he does win any of these states, he's won the election. Or if he even wins Arizona, with Florida, that is. And if he does, say, win Wisconsin, that would be the election. But what if he loses the two that are most further to the right? Well, then it would all rely on Michigan, which, if those two states are going red, I would believe that Michigan would go red, because usually the Rust Belt all votes together, like we saw in 2016. So, if Val Demings was the pick, it most likely would not help Joe Biden. And if anything, it would kind of hurt him. Because he kind of needs somebody from, the Midwest, He needs somebody that can help him out in the Midwest. Okay. Now let's talk about Kamala Harris. Obviously, from California, but she appeals to Southern voters a lot, aka minorities. And that would most likely help them win in Minnesota, especially in Nevada, and especially in New Hampshire. And then, obviously, Virginia's going to go to them anyway. But that would actually help out Biden quite a bit in a state like Texas, or Arizona, or Colorado would help him out even more, which I could even consider it safe. Could help him out a lot in Florida, in North Carolina. And then the Midwest, he doesn't even need the Midwest to win. If he locks down the Sun Belt, that's it. He doesn't even need the Midwest. Which, even in the Midwest, Kamala Harris does help him in the Midwest. So even the Midwest would go to Joe Biden. Obviously, the VP picks they do not, change the election that much. But I'm just saying, if he were to pick a Kamala Harris, it would actually help him out a lot. No, Georgia, no. But, yeah, it would help him out quite a bit. And I think Kamala Harris would be a good choice. But I think, personally, the best choice, and who I want it to be because I am a conservative Democrat, would be Susan Rice. Now, I don't necessarily know how well she helps. All I know is that she has been in the same administration as Joe Biden, aka the Obama administration. They know how to work together, and they work together quite well. I do not know how she would influence the election, but from what I hear, a lot of Democrats think very positively about her. And, yeah, I mean, a lot of Democrats feel positively about her, and her obviously being a minority would have a large turnout of minorities. We could see Arizona go lean, Florida go lean. We could see NC go to the Democrats. And then obviously Joe Biden is from the Midwest. We could see Pennsylvania, Michigan, and Wisconsin all going to Joe Biden. But however, we would see a state like Iowa and Ohio most likely going to Trump, and Georgia being probably a tilt on Trump, which is, my ideal thinking of those two states. And then, so Susan Rice and Kamala Harris would most likely be the best options. Obviously, Val Demings does appeal to minority voters, but not as much as these two. And by the way, this video is sponsored by Bank Energy. Okay. Now let's talk about Blue Texas. So, I'm just gonna undo all these states. Well, okay, there's just something on my keypad. My God, what the frick? Oh, I'm moved my screen. Okay, well, I'm gonna turn off face cam for right now. But, okay, so let's say Joe Biden will most likely get the classic Hillary Clinton states. He, basically will. And let's say Donald Trump gets some of the classic Republican states. Let's picture this as an election night. He got Georgia, and he pulls it off in Texas. Or no, wait, not Texas. That's not supposed to happen. Let's say he pulls it off in Arizona. Joe Biden wins Michigan, but Donald Trump pulls it off in Wisconsin, Pennsylvania, North Carolina, and Florida, blah, blah, blah. Now let's discuss the idea of a blue Texas. Actually, I'm going to do the 2016 map. But, let's discuss the idea of a blue Texas. It's about a 50-50 for me. And actually, I'm going to look at the Economist, because they have a very, very accurate, polls and such. But, let's see here. The Economist. In 2016, they did favor Hillary Clinton for winning, but she only had a 2 in 3 chance, according to The Economist. So that is obviously very good. Now let's look at Texas. Texas. Right now, okay, their model, it does right now, our model is very certain Joe Biden or Donald Trump will win. Donald Trump or Joe Biden is very likely to win, or it's unclear. And right now it says it's unclear whether Joe Biden or Donald Trump will win. And right now, Joe Biden has a 1 in 3 chance. He has a 37% chance, which is obviously more than a 1 in 3. And Donald Trump has around a 2 in 3 chance. And if we look at the beginning of the election, Donald Trump had a 93% chance of winning Texas. And it's dipped all the way down to 64% to Joe Biden's 37%. It sounds like Donald Trump is leading there, which he is. But it's still a 1 in 3 chance for Joe Biden. And the predicted popular vote says that Joe Biden can get up to 55% and that Donald Trump can get up to 57%. 55%. That's quite big numbers. And right now, it does show that for the popular vote, it does say Trump is most likely to win, which I agree with. I think, or not Joe Biden, Donald Trump is most likely to win, which I agree, he probably is. But if the polls show anything, it shows that these two flip-flop quite a bit in Texas. And I could definitely see the idea of a blue Texas. I mean, very unlikely, but I could definitely see a blue Texas. And in 2024, I'm almost certain that Texas will be blue. This does scare a lot of Republicans, and it should. But Republicans are going to need to start pulling out some other states. Obviously, they're doing really well in the Midwest. They could pull off Minnesota or New Hampshire. If they pulled off New Hampshire, they would win the election. They don't even need Minnesota. But they could pull off Minnesota, which is actually closer than Michigan for Joe Biden and Donald Trump, which I find interesting. So the idea of a blue Texas is not out of reach for the Democrats. And obviously, Joe Biden is putting a lot of ad spending into Texas. And I'm sure Beto O'Rourke will be campaigning for him quite a bit. But yeah. So I'd like to thank you guys for watching. Make sure to hit that like button and subscribe. Second video of the day, and I will see you guys tomorrow.